Hello everybody, Big Beardy back again with another video, and today we are doing the November Q&A where we go back over the last month and see all the questions you've asked me and I'll try and answer them for you. So first off, I often get asked about PODs. What are PODs and where do you get them? PODs are very important. Stands for proof of delivery. You need to have a POD signed when you deliver so that you can get paid. So I actually use these ones now. These are very professional. Look great, all the information on there, and they're actually triple print, so when you sign it you get three. You can give one to the customer, one to the shipper, and one is yourself, which you obviously keep for your own records. And there should be a link down below when I get them, which is an eBay shop. If you buy three of these and you put in the notes Big Beardy, you will actually get a fourth one absolutely free, so can't beat that for a deal, can you? Go check them out. Also, they're not named. A lot of shippers don't want your courier name on there, so they are very good. So go check them out and get yourself your PODs. Right, next up we have, I've got the computer here so I can have a little look, see what people are saying, so I can remember, because I always forget your names, so I put on it. Actually, I've had a great response from my last video, which I did on, I released on Friday, which is the week in the life of during the lockdown. Lots of people really enjoying that video, which I wasn't expecting. I just thought I'd throw it out there and see what you thought, but people really enjoying that. So I'm going to do some more in that fashion. Maybe not every week, because they do take a bit of time to film, especially when you're rushing around, but I will get more of them thrown out to you. But if you do like those videos, go check out Van on the Run. His channel, he does primarily week in the life of videos. Very good, very informative. He goes through his how much he makes each week, how he breaks it down. Go check him out, he's very good. So what have we got? Let's have a look at the questions. That's it. Bob Keane talking about, obviously in my last video I was saying that first job's great, but you have to get that second and third job. That's where you make your money. And it's true that when I plan my day, that first job pays for petrol, it pays for the wear and tear, a bit of profit on top, but it's that second and third job that really money in your back pocket, because you've already paid for everything during your first job. Unless you get like a job from Aberdeen down to the Midlands, which pays you 500 quid, then that's 3 jobs in one. So don't worry too much about that. Next up, Chris C. How you doing, mate? He says he was in London on Thursday and he saw a lot of electric vans around, and is that why the price is being driven down? Quite possibly. All you need is 20 in one area, and if they're doing, which electric vans is a big thing that's going to be coming to the industry. It's really going to change how things work. I believe anyway. I might be wrong, but the problem I have is if you've got an electric van, why are you going cheaper? They're expensive. You've already invested in an electric van. Why go cheaper to undercut everyone else? You're basically giving your profits to the shipper. But some people are going to do it, and it has a knock-on effect, because all the electric van dudes are going cheaper. All the people still in diesels, in normal vans, will have to go cheaper to match them, and they're really going to struggle. So if you are watching this and you have got an electric van and you are going cheaper, don't. You're hurting yourself and you're hurting everyone else, in my opinion. Especially seeing, electric vans are like 50 grand. They're not cheap. Seeing that you can get a diesel with like 30,000 miles on the clock for 15 doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, it could be a reason why prices are low in London. Then again, they've always been low. Even 2 years ago, they were low. And electric vans really haven't been around that long. So I think it's just London, personally. But it could be one factor. So a great question. Let's have a look. So long finger, you call it CX bingo when you're waiting for work and it's frustrating. Yeah, it does feel a bit like that. A bit like CS bingo. CX bingo. It is frustrating. It's the worst thing being a driver, being a courier driver, is waiting for work, because you want to work, you're there, you're ready to go, and when you're not moving, or you're not at a customer or anything, you're just on a road waiting, you're not making any money. So it feels like and it drags. So yeah, completely agree. It is CX bingo. It's frustrating as hell. Anyone who's watching this who isn't in the industry yet, you will find out. Sitting there waiting for work just feels like you're not getting paid and nothing's happening. It's annoying. So yeah, completely agree with that. So Ian Gregg, how you doing, mate? He says, do you calculate your vehicle depreciation? This is something I haven't really thought about. He says, obviously, a return run from Carlisle is something around the £44 mark, I think. So it's not really cost effective, especially if you're taking depreciation. I don't really do that because I'm expecting to run my van until it's dead. The likelihood of me selling it is very unlikely, and my actual plan for my van, when I finally buy my new one, is to turn it into a camper and actually use it to go around the country. I'm going to put a bed in it and all sorts and do everything. So I don't, but it is something to bear in mind. I sort of take 20 quid off my profit. So let's say I've done £200 for the day. I put 70 quid of petrol in the tank. I'm going to take another 20 quid off for wear and tear. That sort of includes that. So I'm down to 90 quid. Bear in mind, if you've only done 200 miles, you've still got like another 45 quid worth of diesel in the van for the next day. So it's a great question. Some people might. I don't personally, but that's because my plans for my van isn't really to sell it on. And because we do so many miles, 30, 40, 50,000 miles a year, within 4 years, you've done like 150,000 miles. My dog's barking at me now. They want to go out. So, I don't, but if that's what you want to do, then I always put 20 quid onto my sort of wear and tear at the end of each day. So at the end of a week, whatever I've earned, I take away the petrol, diesel. I keep saying petrol. Someone mentioned this in another comment. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to say petrol. It's just stuck in my head. I take away how much the diesel was, and I take away 100 quid because that's my wear and tear. So, TG Ouija, I think that's how you spell it, pronouncing what you've put down there, says, he drives a small van, he's finding it really difficult to get a job for his £30 minimum, because we all should have a minimum fee. Mine's actually 40, sometimes 50, depending where I am, but he's in a small van, and he's finding he's running on like 55p a mile. I feel your pain, mate. It's not the norm. You should be running at 65p a mile, we all know that, but in the current climate, there's a lot of people who are going cheap. There's not much we can do about it. This whole situation this year has screwed everyone. Even though we're still working, we're not making the money we should be. There's less work around. It's a lot more difficult. I even had a conversation with my wife the other day saying if it continues the way it is, it might be a case of just stay at home. If I didn't have a couple of customers who really do pay me great money and have been absolutely fantastic, it wouldn't be me worth running out of where I'm out of Norfolk, because there just wouldn't be enough work around, and it's hard to get work elsewhere because you're fighting everyone else. So I feel your pain, I really do. I hope it gets better. It will get better, let's be honest. When this is all over, we come out of lockdown and all the business come back, it will take a while, but it will get better. That's what you've got to look forward to as it were, getting back to normality. But yeah, I feel your pain, man. It's an absolute nightmare out there. But it's, like I said in the video I did on Friday, it's a big advertisement. Get your own customers and build those relationships with shippers, because they will give you work. If a shipper likes you, knows you do a great job, knows you're always there on time, you're professional, you're courteous, you do everything right, they're going to give you the job ahead of someone who's not. Simple as that. So build those relationships and do a real good job, and you will have more work. So Tay Lam says he's just got a lease vehicle. He's going to be his first day tomorrow. This was actually sent a few days back, so I'm a little bit late responding to this. His first day as a courier in his courier career. He's got a 3-month lease. What is the first thing he should do on his first day to start making money? Now, I'm hoping you've already sorted out an app or some way of speaking to shippers or customers. If not, that's the first thing you do. You go on Shipley, the CX, City Sprint, Amazon Prime, or whatever it's called. People will tell me Flex, I think it is. One of these, and so you've actually got a way of communicating with shippers and customers to actually make money. Then the first thing you do is just get out there and do it. If you want to CX, start bidding on everything. Everything. If it's your first day, bid on everything. Get the experience. Figure out how to bid properly. It's an art form, it really is. So you need as much experience doing it as possible. So if you're on the CX, I would just throw bids out there and see what comes back. The other thing to do is obviously phone shippers directly. then you get a feel for how things work. But yeah, just get going. Don't sit around waiting for stuff to happen. One thing you have to be in this industry is extremely proactive, because no one's going to just throw work at you, especially when you're starting. You have to go and hunt for it, because you're fighting a lot of very experienced couriers for that same work. Everyone is trying to get their slice of the pie. And if you're just sitting there waiting for it to be put on a plate and given to you, it's just not going to happen. So get out there, get speaking to people, and hunt for that work, and you will be successful, hopefully. So Matthew McDonald asks, how many parcels do you have to deliver for £200 a day? This is regarding the multi-drop video I did. I don't know. I'm on a day rate. So you're basically doing the same job as the person who usually works for that company. So let's say a run has 60 parcels, because you do a route. For most of these companies, you just give it a route. If that route has 60 parcels, you deliver 60. If it has 120, you deliver 120. It's, you're not paid per parcel. If you're working for someone like Hermes and you're working for them directly, some of them get paid like 50p a parcel, some get paid £1 a parcel. So if you're getting paid £1 a parcel, it's 200 parcels. You're getting paid £50 a parcel, it's 400 parcels. This is why I prefer being a contractor. That's my day rate. That's how much you're going to pay me for the day. If you turn around to me and say this route's got 5 parcels, I'm still getting paid £200 to deliver 5 parcels, because that's what we've agreed. So I can't really answer that question as in how many exactly, but that's how it works. So this is a great question from Charles Wunsch, I want to say. I'm awful at pronouncing names, so I really apologise if I butcher anyone's name. He asks, I talk about things that I hate in one of my videos, and I mentioned poaching. He asks, if you don't poach, how do you actually get work? Or how does it actually work? How do you build up customer base? Because you've got to go into places and take work off other couriers, technically. So the definition of poaching is, if a shipper sends me into it to do a job, and I pick up a job, and then I deliver, and I get to that delivery address, and obviously that delivery customer is the person who's the customer of the shipper, I get there and I go to them, hey, listen, I know you've got this shipper, but I can do it cheaper for you. And I steal that customer. That's poaching, because there is a unwritten rule, a degree of respect, a secret handshake, as you would, between a shipper and a courier. When a shipper sends you in, that is, I'm going to do this job for you, and you're going to pay me when you tell me you're going to pay me. The one thing I'm not going to do is poach that customer from you. It's just, it's not done. What you can do is, once you've dropped off that drop load, go next door to a completely different customer, because you don't know if they've got a shipper or not. You have the veil of ignorance that says, I don't know if you've got a shipper, and I don't know who that shipper may be. You can go and try and get that customer. That's healthy competition. That's trying to build your business. But it's the customer you go into and try and steal because you're working on behalf of another shipper. That's poaching. I'll do a whole video. I don't think I've done a video on poaching, but I'll do a video on it just to try and explain it a little bit better rather than a quick answer. But basically, the job you're doing, if you're trying to steal the customer from the shipper, from the job you're doing, that's poaching. But if you're going into any factory or anything and you're trying to get a customer through them, that's healthy competition. You're trying to win a customer. You might be taking it from another shipper, but it's not poaching because you haven't basically given your foot in the door, as it was, from the shipper. So I hope that explains it, but like I said, it's a great question and it deserves a video all of its own. So Grand Master Mawal, something like that. So can you be an independent courier with a minivan? You can be an independent courier with a skateboard if you really want to be. Let's be honest. There's lads that deliver fast food for Deliveroo. They're on bikes. I've seen in London independent couriers that deliver parcels on bikes. All you need to be able to do is take something from A to B. It doesn't matter what you've got, as long as you can do it. You can walk it. You can be a walking courier if you want. Don't think you'll get very far, but yes, all you need is a mode of transport and the ability to transport stuff. Now, obviously, if you're doing stuff in a car, it's going to be very small. If you're doing stuff in a small van, it's smaller than doing stuff in a long wheelbase or a Luton. It depends how you're going to run your business. So, yes, you can be a courier with pretty much anything. Depends where you are and depends the size of the vehicle, what you're going to transport, but completely, yeah, you can be an independent courier with pretty much any van. Jason Burke, how's it going, mate? Hope things are going well for you. I know you've just landed yourself a good job, so I'm pleased for you. But he does say when I did the video on is it going quiet, he mentions this is why hasn't gone for his own van and gone self-employed. There's positives and negatives being self-employed and employed. Obviously, going down the self-employed route can be very difficult, especially in this time, and we're starting to feel it. So each their own, really. I've been employed as a driver before. I actually really enjoyed it. There's a lot less stress, but now that I'm self-employed, I probably would never go back. That's just personal preference, but hope all things are going well for you, mate. So Martin Morris makes a really good point in this next question. It's not really a question, it's a statement, saying about online supermarkets are begging for drivers. They've got so much stuff going out. It's a really good alternative from doing multi-drop stuff, especially if you're looking to get into the industry and get some experience. I've done it before. I did them 6-7 years ago when I was in between positions at certain companies, and I really enjoyed the work. Actually, it's one of the reasons I ended up going down this route, because I enjoyed that work so much, and obviously I had a logistics background. So when I got out of the building game because of my back problems, it's sort of, I've looked back at what jobs I'd done prior and thought, what did I really enjoy? And it was actually supermarket delivery stuff, but I didn't want to do it on that level. I wanted to do it on a big level. But for newcomers to the industry, for people who don't want to do multi-drops, maybe going to do Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Asda, all these companies, and getting some experience through them, knowing you're going to get paid as well, and it's not a bad wage, it might be a good opportunity for some people. So go check that out. This one I get asked quite a lot. It's, do I drive a manual or automatic van, and what van do I drive? I've got a Ford Transit long wheelbase, and I've got manual. Couple of reasons I got manual. I actually prefer driving manual. I did want an automatic because of the amount of time you spend on the road, but the problem is, you go and buy an automatic van, you're paying a lot more money for the same van. If you've got the cash, go for it. By all means, it will make driving those long hours a lot easier, but it's a lot more money just for something, just to get an automatic. So that's why I chose to go the manual route. So yeah, I got a manual, simple as that. And another one from Bob, he's talking about sat-navs, and obviously with multi-drops, driving in the countryside, the sat-nav can be a bit of a pain in the arse. He runs a TomTom, and he says TomToms are a lot better for the rural areas, especially for multi-drops. And it's a good point, TomToms are very good. The one thing is they're very expensive as well, compared to Google Maps, which is already on your phone, and you know, TomToms can go up to £250. I think the cheapest you're looking is about 120. So about, you know, if you're getting one for the 250, it's the same price as a phone. So if you're willing to fork out the money for them, they are very, very good. For me, I don't do enough multi-drop stuff to warrant it, and usually when you're doing the same day stuff, you've got one drop place, so you just plan it in at the beginning of the drop and then you don't have to worry about it. But it's a great point. TomToms are much better than your Google Maps or whatever you use on your phone, just because they seem to get signal everywhere. So something to consider. So I've got a 3-in-1 here, so I'll answer all three of the questions. First off, should you be on the Courier exchange? I get asked this question all the time. People saying, should I be on the Courier exchange? So I'll answer that in a second. Next question was, how much money can I make a week? And the last one, if I have a 3.5 ton box van with curtain side, I'm not sure how that works, and tail lift, would I make more money? I'm not sure he's written that correctly, but we'll go into that in a second. So first off, should you be on the Courier exchange? I get this asked all the time. I can't answer that question for you. I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't know your circumstances. I don't know where you live. I don't know what sort of money you're looking to make. I don't know if you're going to use it properly. I don't know if you're going to bid correctly. You know, there's a lot of factors to make it work for you. I could say to someone, yes, you should be on the Courier exchange. They go on it, they're bloody awful at the job, and they make no money, and then they come back and say, you told me I should be on the Courier exchange. I can't answer that question for you. With this channel, I try and give you as much information as I can so that you can use that information to the best of your ability. I cannot tell you what to do or what not to do. A lot of people say, do you recommend it? I use it. There's my recommendation. If I'm using it, then obviously I think it works for me. Do I think it's the be all and end all? No. There's a lot of things that could be improved on the CX. There's a lot of other things I draw from to get business. But when you say, should I be on the Courier exchange? I don't know. Look through my videos, take the information, watch other people like Pete and Van on the Run and Danny Boy and all these other people who are doing videos. Get that information, speak to them, look online, do the research, and then you'll be able to figure out, is this the right route for you? But to ask me, oh, should I do it? I don't know. It's up to you. So next up, how much money can you make? My minimum target is £200 a day. That is before expenditure. So if I'm doing £200 a day, guaranteed I'm taking £30-40 out in diesel, £20 wear and tear. I'd probably look at making £120, £130 profit. Don't get me wrong, I have some days where I make £450 and I'm making £350 profit. I have some days where I make 180 quid, but I've ran all over the bloody place and I'm making £80-90 profit. There's risk involved to the industry and doing what we do. You've just got to make it work best for you. So, but my minimum goal is £200. I did on a video a while back, £200 is, I've hit my targets an average day. 250 is a good day, 300 is a great day. That's what I aim for. Anything under 200 is a shit day. So hopefully that helps. So if you say in a week, I aim for a grand. That's my goal. If I make a grand, I'm happy. Next up, he asks, if I'm in a 3.5 ton box van, curtain side, tail lift, would I make more money? Make more money than what? Exactly. Than a small van? You should, but then your expenses are more. Having a curtain side or a tail lift tend to be where people want to be, should make the most money. But there are exceptions. There's a job near me which runs regularly, and I have a friend, hope you're watching, who I speak to regularly, and he says he would love to get that job, but he's got a curtain sider, and they don't accept curtain siders because it's window frames, so they can't put those on curtain siders. So, horses for courses, isn't it? So, yeah, hope that answers that for you. And last up today, we've got Jim Bob. He asks, hey Beardy mate, what license have you got and what vehicle? I've already answered the vehicle one. I've got a long wheelbase Ford Transit, 350, I think it is, which refers to 3.5 tons. So yeah, what license? I've got a normal driving license. That's all you need to drive up to a 3.5 ton. So basically, Luton and below, all you need is a regular driving license. What is more important when you're a courier, which is under 3.5 tons, 3.5 tons and below, is your insurance. You need to have that, your normal van insurance, goods in transit, and hire and reward. Very important you get those free, because if you don't, you get into some trouble. So yeah, regular license will get you on the road. You don't need a courier license, as it were. One of the things about the industry is it's actually up to 3.5 ton. It's quite unregulated. So that's a good thing and also a bad thing at the same time. But that's a whole different video. So yeah, I hope this has answered some of the questions. I'm going to be doing these every month now. End of the month, I'll look back through my videos, see the best questions, and I'll answer them for you. And like I said, great response to the week in the life. So, which, like I said earlier, I was really surprised about. So I'll start doing a few more of those. And also, go get yourselves some Beardies. Like I said, these are fantastic. And if you go on the little link below, buy free and put in Big Beardy, you'll get a fourth one absolutely free of charge, which is fantastic. So please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I love hearing from you guys. And as always, be safe out there and have a great day.